I'd like to welcome everybody to the January 2nd, 2019 City Council meeting for Dayton, Kentucky. I'll stand and roll call. I'm new at this.
Mayor Baker.
Here.
Member Bolter.
Here.
Member Neary.
Here.
Member Beasler. Member Cornett. Here. Member Burns.
Here.
Member Lynn.
Here.
City Administrator Giffen.
Here.
City Attorney Ash.
Here. All rise for prayer and pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, would anybody from the audience like to approach City Council? Please. Name and address, please.
Hi, Kathy Gordon, 314 4th. Just a request for consideration. In the past administration, and I believe a little bit before that, it was on the agenda for audience comments or questions at the end of the meeting instead of at the beginning. I'd like to see a return to that, because anything that transpires during a council meeting, we have to wait 2 weeks or a month to have any input or rebuttal or comments. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Move on. We're going to need a motion for approval of minutes from the December 4th, 2018 council meeting.
So moved.
Motion made by Member Lynn.
Second.
Second by Member Bolter. Any comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any abstain? Any noes? So moved. Now for the ordinances and orders. First on the agenda is order number 20191R, the declaring a city-owned tangible property as surplus. Do we have any comments about the surplus? Next.
City of Dayton, Kentucky Municipal Order Number 2019-1R. A municipal order declaring city-owned tangible property as surplus and authorizing the city administrator to sell or dispose of said tangible property. Be it hereby ordered by the City of Dayton, Kentucky as follows. Section 1, that the City of Dayton, in accordance with the provisions of KRS 82.083, hereby make the following findings. This is in the public interest for the city to declare as surplus the following items: 8 pole decorations, a 1997 Chevy half-ton pickup truck, and a 1997 Chevy Camaro. That the intent purpose of the property described herein at the time of the purchase was used to complete city business and beautification of the city. That is, it is in the best interest to sell or dispose of the property because of the deteriorating condition of the tangible property and public interest to sell to private party. The method of disposal is to be sold by sealed bids pursuant to KRS 82.084, 83, 4, and E.
Any comments on the ordinance?
I'll make a motion to approve 2019 1R.
Motion's been made by Member Lynn. Second by Member Bolter. Roll call now.
Member Lynn. Member Bolter.
Aye.
Member Neary.
Aye.
Member Cornett. Aye. Member Burns.
Aye.
Now for the first reading ordinances today, we have ordinance number 20191, adopt the 2018 International Property Maintenance Code and amend other provisions.
City of Dayton, Kentucky, ordinance number 2019, number 1. An ordinance amending Chapter 150 of the Dayton Code of Ordinances to adopt a 2018 International Property Maintenance Code and amend other provisions to conform with the City Code of Ordinance. And that's a first reading.
Ordinance 2019, number 2, the increase of payment and appeal deadline for code enforcement citations.
City of Dayton, Kentucky, ordinance number 2019, number 2. An ordinance amending Chapter 38 of the City Code of Ordinance to increase the payment and appeal deadline for code enforcement citations from 7 days to 10 days. Also first reading.
And the third and last ordinance for the day, ordinance 2019, number 3, correcting a scrivener's error in alcoholic beverage license fees.
City of Dayton, Kentucky, ordinance number 2019, number 3. This ordinance amends and corrects Chapter 111.10 of the City of Dayton Code of Ordinances for alcoholic beverage license fees by changing the NQ3 retail drink license from $708.75 to the state maximum fee allowed of $300. First reading.
Does that mean it was just a writing error versus we didn't charge similarly?
No, we charged the correct amount.
Okay.
Yes.
To the department head report, City Administrator Michael Giffen.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to give a quick update on a couple things. First, we're currently working on contracts with Pruis Construction for Phase 1 construction on Riverfront Commons. We're also working on a contract with Dunlop and Associates for right-of-way phase for the sidewalk improvements along Dayton Pike. Down in Manhattan Harbor, we have 344 units under construction on 2 separate projects. We have one other project that is approved, that's working on the financing currently, and there's 1 or 2 others that are currently in discussion. So we're hoping for a very exciting 2019 down on the riverfront. And I wanted to let council know we're going to go out for bid for banking services. BB&T is no longer here in the community. Quite frankly, the services that we've been getting from them for the last year and a half have been not meeting our standards. So we're going to issue a call out for bids next week, and I'll bring those to you next council meeting in February. This would just be for our basic banking services for the community. And then one final thing, we need to appoint our council member to the OKI regional board. Jeff Volter has done it for the last 2 years. He's agreed to do that again for us for the next 2 years. So I'd like to ask for a motion to appoint Jeff to the OKI regional board.
So moved.
Moved by Member Lynn. Second.
I'll second.
Second by Member Neary. All in favor?
Aye.
Any noes? Any abstentions?
I got a question. You said about the apartments, or condos that were on the river. Do you have any perspectives of completion date on the one on O'Fallon? Looks like they pretty well got the garages and they're working on the
Yeah, we're expecting late this year, late 2019.
late 2019 for the one on O'Fallon.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought it would be.
Well, let's just say sometime in 2019. is what we're expecting. Hopefully sooner, but
Good answer.
They moved
I
slow.
don't want to be shocked.
Thank you.
I have nothing else on report unless anybody has any questions.
I have a question. On the BB&T, on getting a new banking, can we talk about an ATM in the city with that at the same time? About the possibility of putting up
Sure.
ATMs?
Any other questions for the city administrator? And we'll move along to the city attorney's report.
Just a note for the audience, we have a lot of properties that are coming up for foreclosure sale in the next month or two. If you're interested in buying property within the city of Dayton, please check the Campbell County Master Commissioner's website. It has a list of all the upcoming sales of property. There's a lot of decent properties that are coming up for sale, and it can be purchased at a fair to marketable price. It's an open auction, just as long as you follow the rules that are listed on the Master Commissioner's website. Again, it's the Campbell County Master Commissioner. If you check his website, it has a list of all the properties coming for sale in the next couple months in Dayton. Thank you.
Any questions for the city attorney? Move along to the department head report. Fire Chief Atkins.
Thank you, Mayor. You all should receive my monthly report. Just a couple things I want to touch on. One, if you noticed with the overdoses for last year, way down. We went from 2017 having 156 to this year we had 90. So I think that says a lot for what the police department's doing in both cities, and also we're trying to pass out some pamphlets and information, and we can pick up somebody that's an overdose and give them some options of things to do. So that appears to be working. Also, we went out this year and did our 28th annual, we don't really have a name for it. We go out and we take care of kids from each city. We take care of 14 families this year for Christmas. We gave them presents for all the kids, and we had just some like a basket of food, gallon of milk, bread, turkey. And that's just an awesome thing to see when the kids see the presents, see Santa Claus get off the fire truck. I really don't have anything else to offer or add. Do you all have any questions about anything that I presented in my report?
Chief, I would say congratulations on the drugs use going down. You win, Police Chief, because there was a major concern about having the drug usage in Dayton, and I know it's everywhere, but you've done it, both of you done a fantastic job, so I compliment you on it. Plus, the Christmas for Kids, fantastic. Great job.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Chief Hatfield?
I didn't have anything. I just, you have my monthly report. I don't know if there's any questions from those reports. Also, the police department, we do the it's Shop of the Cop. They keep renaming it different things, but basically it's Shop of the Cop. We went to Myers and we had, I'm trying to think, we had well over 100 kids with the FOP Lodge, Lodge 10, and we had 6-7 officers from our department partake in that. So, you know, correlation with the whole Campbell County FOP Lodge 10 was a very good success. So we like doing that every year. That's fun. That's all I have.
Yes. Any questions for the police chief? Officer Lyles for the code enforcement.
Mayor, council, I sent you my the monthly and the yearly reports. I've been here a little over a year, so for the month of December was a little slower. There were 33 total letters issued, 25 violations, and 8 citations. For the month of December, there were 13 cases that were closed. For the fourth quarter, from September to December, there were 125 cases that were closed. In the fourth quarter, there were 277 letters issued. For the year 2018, there were 847 letters sent out and 332 cases that were closed. That's all I have, other than if anyone has any questions, I'm here to answer.
Questions?
Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Economic Development, Mr. Yoder.
Quarterly, I give out running total of what's been going on with the CPS program. I gave that all to you. Pretty much standard rental maintenance moving forward. We have a lot of rehab projects. They're all moving forward. They're reflected in that report. Small things to point out this month. Last time I talked to you, I don't know, Bud Fowler's garage, the garage at 6 and Main. That has changed hands, has new owners. I've had several meetings with them. They're working on putting a CCAP application together and addressing some issues with the roof, but they're looking at rehabbing it and finding tenants for that. Going up and down 6th Avenue from Avenue Pharmacy at 201 6th Avenue, moving along great. Had a meeting today with Brian Boland at 301 6th Avenue. He's got a CCAP application and needing a couple of quotes from him on that one to move forward. That project is moving forward. 604, the kitchen flooring, green building across from Poulet. They're going to be picking that up. 620, moving forward, just put a new tile stoop in, that was really cool. Chris Miller said that was really cool, and Chris did that. Hey, all moving really forward. We're gonna have a great spring. We're gonna have some great new spaces, some new businesses coming in and moving. So, you know, as this construction continues to move on in the winter months, I expect by spring, we'll be seeing a lot of the second on the street. So, short. So, any questions?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Correspondence? Do we have any petitions? Any petitions? No petitions? Unfinished business.
We can't make this a half-hour meeting.
Yes, we
Yes,
I've got it.
The parking lot up there, are we now in the period where we're gonna wait to the spring to have the concrete poured on this?
Yes.
Okay, so, and in terms of right-of-way, what pieces of property are we looking at right now? Besides the two,
We actually don't need the two at the base.
okay, we don't need the two at the base?
We still have to work with the homeowners, obviously, because
Sure,
they've got private property in our right of way. It's everything south
South of
of
Belmont?
of that, yeah. Everything south of the parking lot that we're putting in has resident challenges.
So,
What was it, 10 or 11 properties, Bob? 9?
Yeah.
Something.
but we can't
Can I explain,
proceed.
can I explain what happened? That's an ancient road, okay? Normally, when you do a new road, you have an easement that goes up like 5 feet from the edge. That's old property, and this happens, I've learned that this happens common around Campbell County. That road, the property lines go to the center of the road. There is no easement there.
That's from Belmont to Chateau.
Right, but my question is, can we proceed with that sidewalk once that concrete apron is poured in the park center? Can we proceed up to that point?
No, we can't proceed with any construction until right of way is complete.
So that's gonna hold up that,
The timing of it should actually work out pretty good, because we can't do any construction now. Right of way should probably take about 2 to 3 months, so we'll be done with right of way entering construction about spring.
now are we taking that up to Chateau? Is that where it's going?
Yes.
Where's the sidewalk going to begin at?
It's beginning again at the corner of 7th and Dayton Pike,
You're going to put a sidewalk in front of that house, the Fair First House?
in front of those two houses, and it'll run up Dayton Pike through Chateau.
You'll be sitting on our porch.
Yeah.
Right away.
Okay. Have you talked to them owners?
We have sent letters in the past.
I've asked you that. Have you talked to them?
I've just said it, I've talked to them in the past.
On that note, which is something I want to bring up in unfinished business, we've got 2 new council members, Member Cornett and Member Baszler. And I know that we saw the plans for the sidewalk bump outs on 6th Street and the Dayton Pike sidewalk and the Riverwalk. We've seen those plans 1.5 years, 2 years ago. I think it would behoove us to reissue them to all of the council members and also put them on the city website so people can see what the plans are. And I would like to see more specific timelines on these projects. What is the timeline on the bump outs?
It's in the same process as what I just talked about. It's all entering right of way phase.
I didn't know that there were right-of-way issues on 6th Avenue.
They're not, but the projects, it's one project.
So it's all rolled into one
You're
project.
right, we can't enter any construction until the right-of-way phase is complete, even though the right-of-way only maybe deals with 50% of the project. We
Okay.
won't release any construction funds until you go through the right-of-way.
Stay for
So
them.
we can't start early, I think that's what you're hinting at. is,
Yeah.
Can we do what doesn't have right-of-way issues? And the answer is no.
We could do something in the park because that's city property.
Right, we're
But,
fine.
Understood. Well, on the 6th Avenue bump outs, because that's going to be a pretty extreme change to the way those 2 blocks look, the 500 and 600 block. And Bob and I had talked about this, or I don't know if I talked to you about it, Michael, but I'd like to see it maybe in the springtime or even now, some temporary, where the bump outs are supposed to go, maybe put some cones out there to see if that's really going to work for turn radiuses and everything else. I've seen other cities do that where they'll put a temporary paint down or something just to show where the sidewalk extension is going to come to. I worry about turn radiuses and I also worry about sight lines on some of the corners. But if you could reissue those plans to everybody and put them on the public site, that would be great. I think you'd get some good feedback on it.
Yes, sir.
My question is, I guess, is what's the next move on the city building?
Good question. Michael, Administrator Giffen and I have been exploring some other options as well as looking at the bids that came in. So we're going to go through those and present them to council.
As far as what bids came in?
For the KZI. But you received the packet.
Yeah, okay.
It went to a public forum.
It just threw me off a little bit.
No worries.
But, okay. Because I know, we talked about it and presented to the public. And I was wondering.
And we'll still have a presentation to the public, but Michael and I have been doing some other avenues of work as well, just doing some other options.
The plan still is to have a separate presentation, not a council meeting presentation.
Yeah, we could do it however.
Most certainly.
KZF can come in and present their findings, we could do that at a council meeting, or we could do a separate there. It's really up to you.
We talked about a separate, like go down to school or somewhere,
Because we want to crowd there.
No, I think that the city all agrees that it should be very open and discussion, not a direction.
Ben's we're looking at some of the options that he wants to look at. We want to make sure we have all our ducks in a row before we decide what it is the next step is. But eventually KZF can come in anytime and just they're waiting on our queue.
That's along the same notes. We received that packet, when was that, back in September, I guess it was, October, of what, it was right after the election. Mrs. Cornett, do you have a copy of that? Does Mr. Basil have a copy of that?
They push it, yeah.
Okay,
and the
good.
financial report that I did.
The same packet that we got, the same presentation.
KZF report and then the financial report that I did this year.
Cool.
Any other unfinished business? Any new business?
I've got two things, sir. Just want to tell everybody, and you've probably seen it if you haven't seen it on Facebook, the St. Francis Cemetery cleanup project started probably about 5, 6 years ago. It was really a great volunteer effort, something that Dayton should be proud of. Cemetery started in, 1848, so anybody that claims they're from Dayton, multi-generational, they've probably got people and their ancestors buried up there. Next Thursday night, Jim Weiss, a Dayton native who now lives in Southgate, he really spearheaded the project. He started the project, took up where his Aunt Carol had tried to get it done in the 90s. But next Thursday, January 10th, I believe it's 7 o'clock at the Campbell County Historical Society in Alexandria, Jim's going to be doing a presentation on the project. And I think that's something all of Dayton should be proud of. And, I'd just like to invite everybody to attend. I know I'm going to be there. The second thing I have is with Route 8 through Bellevue and Dayton now being a business route, I would ask administration to please talk to the Transportation Cabinet. That should give the city more control over intersections, signage, bump outs, etc. Since it's a business, I'm presuming that there's more flexibility because it's a business route and not the full-fledged state route. I'd like to see, with this group here, a committee formed along with Main Street and some citizens to really address pedestrian and traffic safety, especially in the central business district, pretty much everywhere from O'Fallon out to Main Street. Visiting some other cities, I see pedestrian signage that really, in my mind, works and would work great here. I think a committee of people who live in the community would have a lot more insight as to the little things or even the big things that we can do to make it safer and more amenable on 6th Avenue. I'll leave that up to the mayor and administration, but I'd like to see some action on that this year. I'd gladly volunteer on it.
In addition to that, I also think that we need to look at the trucks that are going through the Route 8 to go down to Manhattan Harbor. If they go behind the flood wall, can we look into that? I mean, just the dirt flying off these trucks is making our avenue look worse than it needs to be.
Somebody will get to that.
We can ask, can't force it.
I mean, I guess the public road, I can do what I want. Mark's been pretty helpful in that.
I mean, you know, if you walk up and down the street, you look at some of the businesses, just the dust on the windshield, the ledges from the trucks. I mean, every time it shouldn't be like that.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Yeah, you could ask them.
Now, not all of them are Mark's trucks, but yeah, the ones that he
Yeah.
controls, maybe go.
I mean, there's only, what, 6 or 7 houses behind 406
Right.
compared to going through the whole city.
Oh, another thing, I think we need to excuse Councilman Baszler from attending tonight. He's on his honeymoon. It was planned long before the election. I believe he's out west somewhere with his bride.
I would, along the lines, going back to the KZF report, I'd like to see us set a date at the next meeting, a public hearing.
Sure.
So we can get this thing rolling.
Anyone else in new business? I do want to say it's been a pretty busy last couple of weeks, and it's been a pleasure meeting with all the, and I still owe a couple meetings out to Mr. Lyles and Chief Atkins. But it's been a pleasure meeting with the city staff. Really excited about what's going on in Dayton and working with the city council and you guys on the upcoming year. So it's been a pleasure so far, and it's a lot of work. We're really excited to do it. Do we have any executive session this evening?
No.
I'll need a motion for adjournment.
I'll make that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.